Right, howdy folks. I hope you had a good weekend. Welcome back, and I am back from hell. Yeah, what the hell? Okay, as you can see, hell on earth now, I guess. We're having quite the, look at that, dude. That was gnarly right there. Alright, let's get to the solar report here. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully you had a good weekend. I had a rough one, so you could have a good one. All right? How's that? Mm. 5x5, good. That's. Thank you for somebody letting me know that. All right, good, good, good. Let's get her done, shall we? Couple more difficulty there, but that's okay. Find the pointer. So here's our loop plan. This is June. Whoops, that's the wrong day. I had that set up for later. Let's go to the 11th. My bad. We will come back to that day though, because what happened on that day will affect tomorrow. Okay? So we will be coming back to that. So let me just kind of zoom in a little bit tighter on this one for you guys and pull it up. Okay, let that loop play for a minute here, and maybe you guys will see our sun diving comet that we have here. Whoops. Pull it over just a little bit better. There we go. All right. So here we are, June 11th, 2023. You can see we've had this beautiful sun diving comet here. Probably one of the brighter, bigger, more notable ones in a long time. And we had one the day before as well. So as you can see, not much activity going on the sun except for our sun diving comet. Okay, so look at that. That's some good news there. We don't have a bunch of objects or a bunch of blasts going off the sun today. But we did have quite the impressive, I mean, you can see it pretty bright here. And let me tint this out on this side a little bit better so you can see it on the black and white side. There it goes. Okay, so pretty decent sun diving comet there. Let me pull back a little bit. Figure out a problem. I'm zoomed in too tight too. Let's go right there. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. Now you can see our sun diver. Okay, that's a little bit better. Actually, it's right there, I guess is good enough. Okay, so not much on the sun today, but we did have a sun diver. So now let's go back to yesterday, the 10th. If we can. Yeah, there we go. Let the 10th load up. And in the same region, watch, there's a little sun diving comet again. See it there? All right, let this loop play. Is it picking it up on the screen or not, man? All right, where'd it go? There it goes. Okay. Let's get right about there. There's a lot of frames in this one, so it takes a minute for it to reset, but there it goes right there. And that's not doing it justice. So let's do it like this, a little bit better. Oh, this is in the way. That's what's been bugging me. All right. Here we go. Hopefully this will be a little bit better for you guys. And you can see our little sun diver comes in right there. Not much on this side, but we did have 2 sun diving comets 2 days in a row. Okay, so we did the 11th, we did the 10th. Okay, there's not much going on as far as celestial objects interacting with the sun or any of these other objects right now. There's something, a little squirt right down there, but mainly for the last 2 days, it's been very quiet, but we have these sun diving comets. And I noticed last time when we had a series of these sun diving comets, it was because they were actually reacting to a bigger object back behind the sun. So when I see 2 of them in a row come in like this, I'm wondering, are we going to have another big object pass again? Okay. So that's that. Now let's back up to the 9th, because what we need to do here, this is what's going to hit on the 12th. All right. So before we do our weather report, I want you guys to understand what happened on the 9th, because I missed this report too. Okay. I've been extremely busy, and I can't even detail some stuff for you guys because it's just too off the hook. Anyways, here on the 9th, you can see we had quite an event here and an object right there. Okay, there's a couple of them in that one. In fact, let's just kind of go through this day frame by frame, shall we? And let's catch it at the beginning. All right, there we are, 024. And let's just start going through. Oh, here's a straight going right through, right where this object's passing, right? Looks like they're shooting at it. Whatever object this is right here coming out there, it looks like they're shooting at it. In fact, let's just zoom in some more on this because it's just so interesting. Here's our object. Can you see this small little round object right here? In fact, let's just zoom in as far as we can. Pull it over a little bit. Whoa, whoa. Okay, so here's our round object, and here's our shot going straight past it. So something is shooting at this object. Boom. And you can see the object was right here, and they shot it. Okay, so there's some Star Wars going on out there, or whatever. Maybe this is the thing streaking through, and I don't think so, but it looks like they're shooting at whatever just reacted with the sun. Somebody is, okay? Because here's an object coming out. Watch it as it progresses out. Okay, you can see we've had an object here, all right? And that they were shooting at. Here's another thing streaking through there. Okay. All right, where's the one shot? Okay. Can you... All right, let's pull this over. We're done with the red side, so get out of here. All right, let's back up a few frames here. You see this little round object right here? We're going to back up. Okay, you can see this round object right here. That's the one we're shooting at. Okay, so now we're going to go forward again as these objects emerge. Pull it down just a little bit more. You can see there's an activity going on up there as well, okay? And boom, boom, boom. Okay, you can make out this little object here, another one coming behind it, one right there. This is a little too bright. Let's tint that a bit. All right, there. Now you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so as we proceed here, another event going on up here. Something right there. Something going in. Then watch this round object right here as these waves, these CMEs drape and plasma drapes over them, washes over them. There's one. All right, did you see that? How? Oh, where's a good shot of it? Right here's our little object. It's coming out. This splashes over it, and then you can see the round circular shape of it right there. All right, there's more coming out over there. Then we have this big event, all right? This is the CME that's due to sideswipe the Earth, all right? So we have energy earthbound tomorrow, okay? So whatever storms we're going to have tomorrow are going to intensify because of the inbound energy that's coming in, okay? And you can see that was quite an event. It had few objects in that one, okay? So that was quite an event. Now let me put this back into motion here and let that loop kind of go for a minute here. Yeah, that's good right there, I guess. So that happened on the 9th, and it takes about 3 days, roughly 3 days, for these CMEs to reach Earth. Okay, 93 million miles they got to go. So it's due around the 12th. Okay, this happened, say, late in the day on the 9th. All right, so it'll probably be late in the day on the 12th, which is the end of convection. So this might really cause some problems with tomorrow's weather. Okay. What happened with solar ham here? Oh, it's reloading. Okay. There it goes. All right, so we looked at all that stuff. Now let's come over here real quick. I just want to point a few things out. All right, pretty quiet, right? We've had our little pops and stuff right here, but look how close it just hugs the seafloor all this time until these little pops, then drops back down to the seafloor again, comes up when we have activity, but mainly it's riding really low right at the seafloor. At least it's not dropping too far below, okay? So that's good news. Let's slide over here. Our KP index is so-so. We're at 2. That's not too bad. Auroras look really weak right now, which means we're not absorbing a bunch of energy at the moment, which is good. We don't really need to be absorbing a bunch of energy, okay? But they're nice and weak, okay? That's a good sign. They're still pulled off center. Here's the center of axis right here where my finger is. Here's the center of axis right here. So they are pulled off to one side still. Okay. What I wanted to do is take a peek at this, though. This little film. Look at that big old filament eruption here. And let me read this real quick for you guys. A high-latitude solar filament just lifted off the surface of the sun. 2 large towers of plasma are captured below by GOES 18 SUVI. Because the event took place toward the top of the sun, any associated CME should be directed away from our planet. Okay? This I did not see on any of those. When did this happen? June 6th of 2023. So that's a few days ago. That's why we didn't see it. But quite the display our sun is doing here. And off the northern part, that's a little out of character, especially for a big one like that. But it's probably reacting to an object that's passing by. It latched onto something. Okay, and created quite the that's quite a filament. Okay. All right, let's come down to the tracker. Probably not much. Oh, they're showing something. Why are they showing something? Not much came off. Oh, because of the little one that came off the sun today. All right, and it's moving, away from the Earth. The one that's due to sideswipe us is going this same direction, but it's much broader. And it's due to kind of the very top edge of this wave right down here is due to graze the Earth tomorrow. So it's not a full-on hit, but it is some energy that will be affecting our weather tomorrow. Okay. What else did I want to see out of this thing real quick? Oh, sunspots. AR 3327. Solar activities remained at low levels in the past few days with only minor C flares. The majority of these small flares were produced by AR 3327. Additional C-class flares are most certain, with a chance for a moderate M flare. Okay, so this 3327 is still causing some issues and stuff, even though it's not beta, gamma, delta anymore. I believe it's just beta, gamma now. Oh, wrong. Too far back. All right. Yeah, it's just beta, gamma right there. So that's it for that. Now we're going to come over here and what the hell? Okay, we have 2 major typhoons going on, about to make landfall here. So let's start with this one over here, shall we? Let's zoom in on it. Okay. Whoops, I went a little too far. And what I want you to look at is this flow. All right. I always look at the inflow. I want to see how much inflow it's getting, where it's coming from. But then look at this outflow. It goes up arcs and it comes back down. So something weird is going on right here. This storm seems to be purposely hitting India and nothing else. It's gonna make landfall and go in here, and all the winds are all associated with India. Do you see that? Pull this down, push this back a little bit. It's just odd that the whole country of India is going to be consumed by the storm. All the more inflow is coming off of this and going into it. So we got this is a pretty good, it's probably Cat 5. I'll have to look into it, but that looks like a well-defined typhoon. Okay. Then, as if that's not enough, we got another typhoon over here going ballistic too. And this one looks well defined too. This could be a category 4 to 5 here. And it's just south of Japan. Oh, something I forgot we can do here a little bit. First, let's go back over to this one. I want to do something here. And let's put it right about there. Okay. Let's fast forward this a little bit. 8 hours, it goes north. Another 8 hours, kind of stays there. 8 hours later, it's still kind of staying there. And another 8 hours later, so this thing looks to just stay out into right offshore, just pummeling this place. That's another 8 hours. And we jumped another 8 hours. This thing just seems to want to stay right there and keep pummeling. These are all 8-hour clicks at a time, and it still hasn't made landfall, or the eye hasn't made landfall. Wow. Then it finally makes landfall there. Okay, that's their projection on this instrument at least. And it'll go boom further inland. Okay. So let's gotta go all the way backwards now. I think that's beginning. All right. I think we passed it. That's right about there, I think is our... Actually, let's just reload this to get the right time back. All right, there we go. So that was that one and its future projections. Let's come over to this one now. And see its future projections. Okay, it's due to break up here. Let's go back to here. I think that's, whoops. That's right about where it is right now. Okay, yeah, that's it right there. So it's still strong right now, but their projection is that it goes northeast, northeast, and doesn't make landfall. Okay, so that one, they're gonna dodge a bullet. But this other one looks to strike India. Okay, so we have 2 typhoons currently at the same time, one hitting India and one right off the coast of Japan here. Let's pray that this one doesn't make landfall. Let's pray this one has mercy on this country when it does. Okay, and that was it as far as the hurricanes. Now I want to take you to the top and look down at what is going on with our polar vortex. Unfortunately, the it has filled all the way in now. There is no blue barrier anymore. It is all the whole northern hemisphere, all the way down to this blue barrier in the southern hemisphere. Everything is rotating backwards. In the southern hemisphere, you can see how strong this thing has become. All right, and that's the only thing that's causing anything to rotate in the right direction. This blue barrier line right here, look at it getting weak and collapsing here. See this vortex taking over? This is weakening this blue boundary right in there. But now look at our flow. This is going to be a hot, moist summer. As this hasn't even finished creeping up yet. We're not at June 21st yet. At June 21st will be the longest, or the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, where this southerly flow will creep to its highest position, and then it will start receding back down as days get shorter. Okay, but right now, as we look at it, there is no polar vortex. It is now just this backwards flow, okay, all the way down to the equatorial. It's connected now to the equatorial zone, all right? There is no blue boundary anymore. Everything is flowing in that direction now, okay? And this is the upper. This is the upper, like up at the ionosphere, right? Now we're going to go a little bit down lower to our upper jet stream, and you can see how this backwards flow has caused the jet streams to buckle and dip and swerve and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So let's zoom in on America here, and we'll see what our jet stream is doing right now. Okay, now we got this flow coming off of the Gulf of Alaska, being splayed out, dropping down here. So cold air is coming down and mixing with the warm, moist air and throwing up and spitting out this huge, moist cocktail right at New Mexico and Texas. So with this configuration and tomorrow's added energy, I'm expecting the tornado outbreak in this area to be at least, and maybe even quite significant. All right. So let's pray that, pray for these guys' safety. These guys are getting crazy now. They're busting out the Dominator 3 and the 1, and they're going to go put it in a tornado now. They're done chasing. Now they want to go ride the thing, right? They'll go ride a tornado. So pray for their safety. They're still doing vital information for us. Look at this flow up here. Hang on. This flow up here is taking cold air out of Canada, northern Canada, and slamming it down and into the Great Lakes region, okay? So watch out, everybody. Volatile weather right now, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to change over to the chemicals and take a little look at the SO2. Okay, whoops, take away the wind. This is a sulfur dioxide. This is the gas that surrounds the magma down below. When the pressure from down below pushes on the underside of the crust, the magma wants to come up and rise up through the crust, but there are pockets of gas that are in the way first, and those pockets of gas are being extenuated or released. They're pushing all the gas out. Okay, up here in Canada, this is not smoke. This is sulfur dioxide. This is the gas that's being emitted from down below. These are also hot spots. When you got sulfur dioxide, this hot gas under pressure rising up through cracks in the surface, it gets hot on the ground and it starts fires from underground. That's what the media and everybody's too afraid to tell you, is these fires were started from underground. They would rather have you think that they got some dew weapon or some laser weapon that they can start a fire with than the sheer panic and terror that it could be coming from underground and uncontrollable. There's nothing you can do about it. Now you see that this half of the country is still kind of bleeding out. There's a big dent in this area now of less activity. Okay, a little bit more concentrated up in that area though. All right, something else we haven't reported on in a minute here is the Bay Area in California, because I know there's a lot of people out here that are wondering what's going on. We got the North Bay. Our little plume was like one dot right here, right, for the longest time. Look how much it has now blossomed, okay? In my region over here, we're starting to have sulfur emissions as well. This emissions goes down the Central Valley of California now. It was one little spot, and then it was a little spot here by the geysers. I want you to look and see how this is starting to fill in. Okay, California is starting to have some pressure release activity, and it's in a more intense way. All right, let me just kind of do this for a second. Give you a shot of the country. Whoopsie, full screen right there is probably good. That way you can kind of take a good estimate of your part of the country and what kind of emissions are happening as far as where you're located. Okay, so take a little peek there. There's no state boundaries or anything, but you can kind of guesstimate locally pretty close where you're at. There's Salt Lake City. You can see the lake, Michigan here. Okay, Florida down here. So it gives you kind of a good idea of what to look for in your area. Okay, now I'm gonna come over here to the bad boys who are getting spanked. All right, little do they probably know, but they're in hot water. Okay, they better start playing. Anyways, you can see that China has got a severe issue, and pretty soon they will be experiencing cracks in the ground, lava coming up through the ground, fires started. They're probably having fire issues, and the media is not reporting it. In fact, I can just report that for you real quick. Oops. I want to stay with that. I want to go bio, and we're going to go to the fires. Put it on the space. There we go. And see, China is having fires. Let me tint this out because there we go. All right, so they're already starting to experience fires from down below because of this pressure. There's the southern part of China, okay, and it was a lot worse. These fires were a lot worse. Seem to have lightened up a little bit. Maybe they've gotten some under control, but you can see that this region right here has some issues, as well as over here in India. Now, some of these in India could be like a village has a fire pit, or there's people cooking on their open fire or whatever. But a lot of this is due to the gas underneath. I'm going to change it back to the chemicals real quick. All right, now if we can get rid of the wind. And now what we've done is we got the fires and the gas at the same time. All right, kind of doesn't work too well because the red dots don't really stand out too well against the burgundy backdrop. But you can see a lot of them are in accordance with these hot spots. Okay, so we have pressure underneath rising up to the surface, pushing SO2 out of the way. All right. Of course, we're going to just do this one real quick. I want to do another one. Whoops. Air. well, I want to take it off of that one first. My bad. And then we want to come over to the SO4. All right. Now this is another sulfur compound, but it's got four oxygen atoms. So it's sulfur quad oxide instead of sulfur dioxide. Now you can see this Typhoon right here has picked up a bunch of this sulfur gas too. All the storms now have this gas wrapped up in them. Okay. Now the thing about this gas is it comes from down below as well as man-made, but that doesn't matter. The part that matters about this compound is SO4 likes to bind with water. And there is a lot of water in the air. There's water vapor in the air. There is water in the oceans. There's water all over this planet. Okay. The sulfur likes to bond with the water. Okay. Well, when you mix H2O and SO4, you get a compound called H2SO4, which is better known as sulfuric acid. Okay, and what you're looking at are clouds of sulfuric acid, basically, that are circumnavigating the globe, getting caught up in the storms, and it's like a runaway train. You can't undo this. You can't take it back. You can't, and it's just going to continue to progress. The northern hemisphere, we're looking at the top down, okay, has a lot of the white. White is the intensity, white being the most intense, the rest being green and yellow. Now, if you look at the bottom part of the earth, it's not as white, but it does have a lot of green and a lot of yellow in it. Let me just kind of get a little closer for you. All right. So this gas has circumnavigated the whole globe. There's even traces down here at Antarctica. This is like the only spot on the planet that doesn't have high concentrations, but it is there. Look. Go into it. See? It's there in Antarctica as well. All right. No place on the planet is safe anymore from this gas. All right. And it's just going to continue to until the whole globe is probably white. And then what happens is if this sulfur bonds with the water and whoa, what happened with my focus here? Here it goes. If this sulfur gets too concentrated and it bonds with the water in the wrong way, it's explosive. So you could have crackling, snapping, popping rain on fire because of all the sulfur in the air. Understand? You get it? How rain could catch on fire now? All right, you guys are awesome. I see all these little light bulbs going up. Oh, I get it now. That's how rain could be on fire. Then when it freezes, say if these little sulfur balls freeze up in the air, you're going to have little fireballs of sulfur raining down on the planet. Burning hail, basically. If you imagine that, burning hail. Okay. Now what we need to do is come over here to the earthquake report because we have had some activity. Now, what's going on here, first off, we had a deep quake that put some 5 to mid 5 energy into the system, okay? Now, this is not the quake. This one is a recent deep quake, and we're going to start there anyways. It's a 4.3 at a depth of 581. Okay, that's pretty deep. It's a nice deep one. And there hasn't been any residual quakes entering the system or anything since this. These are all older quakes that had happened previous to this one. This is old energy from the deep quake yesterday. So let's go into our quakes that entered the system. We have a 5.2 at a depth of 10. Here we have a 5.0 at a depth of 50. Okay. Right here was a 4.6 at a depth of 96. Translates to almost 5 at the surface. 4.4 at a depth of 399. That translates to over a 5 at the surface. Well, Yeah, right around 5 at the surface, okay? So all this 5 to mid 5 energy came into the system, moved its way through. Here's a 4.8 over here. Then as we start climbing up the ladder here, we have a 5.0 here at a depth of 10. Over here on this side, we had a 4.7 at a depth of 57 or 51. Okay, that translates a little bit higher at the surface, but that 5 energy, okay? Then as we get up to Japan, look at this. They had a 6.2 at a depth of 123. I want to go see. A mosquito just tried to fly in my face. I want to see if this is on land. Oh, nope, it's in the water, right in that weak zone right there, okay? And it was right next to this little town or oh, this is like a manufacturing plant place or something. Anyways, this little area was right next to the quake, so they probably got quite a good little jolt here. Take this out of there, Brian. All right. Hokkaido, Japan. Okay, so those people right there got a pretty good jolt from this 6.2 right here. And that was at a depth of 123. So at the surface, that's almost maybe 6.5. Okay, so they got a good little jolt right there, and that's not necessarily right on the fault. See, let me pull back just a tad bit more because I want you guys to see. This is the three-way junction down here where I'm expecting a lot of our energy. All right, this is where all 3 faults come together right here. This is where we should be seeing this quake. So to see it up here is a little odd, okay? It doesn't seem to be on a reactionary quake along the fault lines. It's in the middle. It's directly in the middle of these two. So energy probably trying to creep up here and is not releasing on the fault line. It's locked up or something, and now it's releasing at the weak spot between the 2 fault lines. Okay, and then nothing much up here, the Contractna Peninsula, but we did have some energy up here in Alaska. Now this is a little further north of our apex point, but this still can be that 5.0 energy coming in, rounding the corner, and coming down the west coast. All right, doesn't appear to have reached that yet. This is a small 2.5, so not much on the west coast, but it appears we do have some energy up here. 5.0 energy that's at the top of our system here. So in maybe the next couple days, we might see a mid 4 to a 5 anywhere along this little corridor. All right, along the Juan de Fuca, even down into San Andreas. Okay. I think that was about it on that. Oh, wait a second. Couple quakes here at the Fulcrum Point, 4.6 at a depth of 106, and a 4.3 at a depth of 219. Those are about both equal to almost 5 energy. That's that energy, that 5 energy from yesterday, transferred across and dumped off 2 quakes there. That's about it for that. Oh, this quake right here was a little interesting. This is a 5.8 at a depth of 10. So some of this energy that entered this system up north here also came down and fractured, did a 5, mid 5 to 5.8 right here as well. Something that I forgot to do on this last map, I was looking at Hawaii. I want to look at Oahu real quick at their SO2 emissions. All right. Yeah, that's good enough. So just zoom in on Oahu real quick. I want to see. Yeah, they're still kind of dark there. Not too bad. And the other islands are relieving pressure here and here. But I still expect this volcano here to continue to erupt and hopefully erupt even harder and relieve some more of this pressure. Okay. I don't want to see it go catatonic, or not catatonic, but cataclysmic. But I would like to see some decent energy be relieved from this spot. Okay, it'll relieve the pressure at Oahu is what it'll do. All right, catatonic. That was the people I dealt with. So we did that. We did that. Okay, now it's time to do our forecast here. Okay. Oh, good. It filled in. We didn't have all the data here just a little while ago. So now that it's filled in, I'm going to go ahead and play this loop. Step aside for a second, regather my composure, and finish this weather report. Let's just take a quick look at this. And all this is subject to change because this instrument, I don't think, has been taking into account inbound energy from the sun. And that's what affects our weather quite a bit. So for a weather map to do a forecast without crucial data, they're incomplete. They're the best guesstimate as to what we can do, or what they can do with the data that they have. All right, you know that. I don't have to spell that out for you. All right, yeah, give me just a second. I'll be right back. And then we'll go through this frame by frame. Oh, you guys been sore lately? Experiencing some pain? Sleeplessness? Nausea? Adrenaline? Side effects from adrenaline? You guys experiencing weird family issues? Ones that are like out of character, that don't make sense? People that you lived with your whole life have changed? Well, there's going to be more and more of it. And that's why it's crucial to have the Lord. Because these days are going to get crazier and crazier, and you're going to have to rely on the Lord more and more. Alright, so let's stop this and start doing our little shindig, shall we? Alright, we got this low pressure right here over the the Ohio Valley here. This is current conditions. Then we go morning hours. That's noon time. And the end of convection, June 12th. Okay, here's our time and date up here. This is 5 p.m. Pacific, which is 8 p.m. out there. Sunset, that's the end of convection. Okay, so the end of convection is going to be up here in New York. All right, this event up in New York right there tomorrow. All right, cool. You guys are still here with me. All right, yeah, we got a gem tonight too, so stick around for that. You don't want to miss the gem. Then we have all these pop-ups and stuff in the mountains up here, the Sierra Nevadas. We had some good thunderstorms today. Lots of intense lightning. You guys been experiencing lightning and flash flooding and thunderstorms, so I'm sure you can relate. Anyways, that's the end of convection, June 12th. Then we go into the overnight hours. This is the morning hours. Here's noontime and the end of convection on the 13th. Now, just a couple small pop-ups right here in Alabama and Georgia. Back over here and here, this is going to be more pop-ups. Something else. Let's go backwards just a second. Because June 12th, we're expecting more energy tomorrow, right, from the sun. Nothing the next 2 days, but something, or the 2 days after that, but definitely some energy coming tomorrow, all right? And at the time, it's hitting New York, Pennsylvania, and this area. So I expect this area to be a bigger, broader area, okay, than what it's showing here, and probably more intense. It should be red instead of yellow. Okay, now let's pray that it doesn't hurt a lot of people, but I know God is not real happy right now, and let's just continue. All right, so there was the morning of the 13th, noon 13th, end of convection the 13th. Notice how this thing is winding up and tightening up. Then we go the morning hour, that's the morning hours down here in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. Watch out. That's that was the midnight hours right there. My bad. Then the morning hours still down in here. Noontime, the end of convection. Okay, this is the end of convection, June 14th. Here in the southern states, Alabama, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia, that region, expect some pop-ups. There's a little thing going on here in New York. All right, now these 2 days right here don't have much energy coming in from the sun, so they shouldn't be any more intense than what this instrument is showing you. So these 2 days are probably pretty close to being on track. It's tomorrow's that I beg to differ with. Now, as we go into the nighttime hours of the 14th, you are looking at the intensification, nocturnal thunderstorms, nocturnal tornadoes possibly in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia region, okay? Even in the panhandle of Florida possibly, okay? Then as we go into the morning hours, it dissipates. This is the noon hours. That was noon. Now this is the end of convection again on the 15th. Again, here in the mountains, the Rockies, the Sierras again, but mainly here in Alabama and Georgia this time, all right? Then it goes into the overnight hours. This comes out of nowhere and starts to blossom into nocturnal thunderstorms, possible nighttime tornadoes, even going up into Canada. That is the nighttime hours of June 14th into the 15th. Then the morning hours of the 16th, noontime, the end of convection on June 16th, pop-ups in New York, New Hampshire, this area, pop-ups here in North Dakota and Minnesota. Then we go through the nighttime hours. Here, this blossoms here. This kind of forms a solid line, or a squall line kind of. That's the morning hours, noontime, and the end of convection, June 17th. Just some pop-ups off the coast of Florida, maybe some rain and stuff back up in this way, but nothing too serious on that day. Then as we progress, that'll be the midnight hours, morning, noon. Look at this at noontime. They're already blossoming here in South Carolina and Georgia. This is the 18th. That's the end of convection right there. So the coast of Georgia, North and South Carolina, maybe even Virginia, some rain back up in there. And that's the end of convection on June 18th. Okay. Then as we progress into the overnight hours, you get these pop-ups back here in Arkansas. Still some in South Carolina. That's the morning hours. Still some here, residual moisture here. Then we go into the noontime, and then that's the end of convection, June 19th, with little pop-ups here in Missouri and Arkansas right there. Okay, not much. So looks like then it increases overnight. So this is what's odd. These things are going nocturnal. Now I don't know how correct this is. This is all subject to change, especially the further out we go from today's date. So then we go into the morning hours. That'll be noontime, and then the end of convection on the June 20th, possible down in Florida, southern Georgia. Then we go through the midnight hours, pop-ups here. Morning hours, possible storm off the coast right there. That's noontime. Then the end of convection on June 21st is going to be offshore here. So maybe a couple scatterings in the mountains. Then we go overnight, morning, noon, into convection on the 22nd. Again, here, South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina area. Up here in Montana and Idaho. Overnight. Ooh, look at this. Overnight up in Canada at the border up there. Wow. That's morning hours, noontime, the end of convection the 23rd. Not much there, just a little there. Then we go overnight. Again, nocturnal thunderstorms blossoming overnight here in Nebraska, Kansas. That's the morning hours. There's noon. And then the end of convection on the 24th. Then as we go into nighttime, it blossoms again. That's morning, the noontime, the end of convection on the 25th. Not much. The morning, overnight, morning, noon, end of convection the 26th. So that was the model run in progress. Oh, never mind. They're here, Nebraska, Iowa, possibly, but this is way, way out there. That's no longer has times with it. Wait, here we go. So that's midnight hours, morning hours, noon, and the last frame, that's the end of convection on June 27th, okay? Right here and off the coast, really way up here in Canada. This event up here, something going there. All right, let's just run this model one more time. Let that loop play. Boom, boom, boom. So you see we still have a lot of thunderstorm activity. Watch your skies because this is all subject to change. Our weather is going wonky now, and without the proper data for these tools, for these instruments, they're not going to be as accurate, and they're going to be changing constantly. So it's hard to do a 5-6 day forecast anymore, or even out further, because things are so volatile and so apt to change right now. Okay, so I think that'll do it for our forecasting and our solar report. Yeah, and now we're going to get into tonight's gem and the spiritual realm. So for those of you who do not like this stuff, it's time to tune out. Those of you who want to know more, stick around. All right. So we've been having a lot of lightning, and something that happens when we have these lightning strikes. And I'm just going to play this. And actually, you know what I should do is zoom in really well on this and then play it. All right. Oops. No, I zoomed in too much. Hang on. Let's just back out a little bit. Why can't we see the whole thing? All right. There we go. Now let's play it. Okay, you guys may have seen this video before. If you haven't, so we have lightning striking, okay? Then it strikes some entity over here that's hovering in the air. You see this entity hovering in the air? Then the entity absorbs the lightning and spits it back over here and hits something on the ground. Okay, can you guys kind of see what's going on there? I'm going to let that play a few more times. Now, what sucks about this video is it's only on a short. I mean, we really need this to be full screen so we can get the details. But do you guys see what appears to be a dragon right here at the very end. And you can see it spitting the lightning out and causing that explosion. So the lightning striking back here in the distance, then lightning strikes this creature and it illuminates the creature. It's a dragon. You see its wings flapping a little bit. Then it spits fire out of its mouth. Boom. Boom. All right. So I'm going to let that sit there and play a little bit over and over and over again. And I want you guys to start thinking about when you're watching a thunderstorm roll in and you're seeing lightning and you're watching the lightning, watch for what it strikes. Because sometimes it'll strike one of these entities. This is a dragon that's floating over somebody's house, okay? It was probably about to could devour the soul of some person in this house, and lightning struck it. But in the other realm, you can see that this dragon was hovering over this house down below. Isn't that badass? Huh? Isn't that some badass video that actually... I mean, I just can't... I know what's going on here. I know this is real, all right? You guys need to absorb what's going on here so you understand the reality of what's going on, okay? You can see that dragon open up its mouth and spit that fire right at that. Okay, and maybe what I'll do is I'll take out a round wedge here and drop it down. There we go. And maybe we can capture just a tad bit better in that darker range up there. What is it? They're asking this question in the thing. It says demon struck by lightning, but what they don't see is it's a dragon. You can even see his wings flap in the one segment there. And I'm just going to let this little version play over and over again for a minute while I dig through the notes for tonight's reading. Alright, yeah, that's quite the interesting video we've got there. Probably captured on somebody's close camera circuit TV or whatever, CCTV, pointing out at the neighborhood or whatever. And it captured, you know, the lightning strike and boom. And it's like Godzilla powering up and then boom. So, the demonic realm is now manifesting in the physical realm. Okay, I've showed you other events that have happened outside my window. And where am I gonna do my notes? What did I do? I'm sorry, I got the show so lined up I forgot to dig through my notes and find tonight's reading. Okay, alright. Alright, yeah, I guess I'll have to do this one now. We're having to accelerate through my notes. I really wanted to take my time and do each single one with you, but I'm running out of time, folks. I don't know about you, but I can feel I don't have much longer. Anyway, we're going to get to this. Actually, you know what? I need to put up a good image to read to. Did you guys get an eyeful of this? I mean, get enough of this dragon right here spitting fire. Okay, yeah, That's just quite the stuff we're seeing these days. Okay. So pause that. I'm going to zoom back out a little bit so I can manage this a little better. And we're going to pull up an image to read to. What do you guys want to see an image of? Angels? Maybe, what should we read to tonight that's still not zoomed out? There it is. Okay. What's a good one to read to? Lord, what should we read to tonight? Just point it out. That one? Okay, so in this one, this is after their ad, not supposed to be ads on my channel. I am not monetized. Yet they still make money off of me, don't they? Okay, so this is that image of Jesus in the clouds, and in this video, I think what I did is I ran through some filters here, and let's see, we can really get it to pop here. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. Where's the, was that the last filter? Yeah, it was. So we'll leave there. Let's just go a little bit fuller screen. Alright, so this is that same image of Jesus. I ran it through the filter a little bit, so it's a little easier to see. Round a wedge again. There we go. I don't know if that comes out easier to see for you guys or not than the regular image. You know what? I don't like that one. Sorry. Bear with me for a second. We're just going to go to the regular one. Something just stabbed me right in the eyeball. Oh, that's wonderful. All right, I'm trying to do this. All right, let's just do this one. Okay. The reason why I keep showing this one is because I want you guys to grasp the gravity of what's going on here. All right, this is a real event. This has happened on Easter. Okay, it's an hour-long event where the wind started blowing, warm wind. All the birds went berserk for the entire hour while I was standing there trying to take as many pictures of this event as I could until I collapsed. Okay, you try holding the cell phone up for 15 minutes with your arms 45 degrees in the air. Try holding it up for 15 minutes. I did it for an entire hour. My heart was racing until I collapsed. Alright, that's why I keep showing this, because I almost died to bring these images to you. This is a very painful event to capture. And it's prophecy foretold 2,000 years ago. Jesus said, "You will see me coming in the clouds with power and great authority. Here's his crown, signifying power and great authority." In fact, I don't want... Let's go back to this image right there. That's better. Okay, now you can see his eyes. This is his forehead and his hair flowing back. Hopefully, tilt your head to the right about 45 degrees because the face is sitting at a 45-degree angle. Where did my pointer go? There we go. Face is sitting at an angle like that, looking down at the ground, okay? You can see the crown up here. It turns into a lion face. I think I've shown you that before as well. So, a real miracle foretold 2,000 years ago came true on Easter of 2020. And we're 2023? This image is 3 years old. Jesus has been here roaming around for over 3 years, and nobody has even noticed yet. All right, let's just read this. Okay. No matter how you are feeling, remember that you are not on trial. The There is no condemnation for those who belong to me, those who know me as Savior. You have already been judged not guilty in the courts of heaven. I came to earth to set you free from bondage to sin. I long to see you living joyfully in that freedom. Learn to enjoy your guilt-free position in my kingdom, refusing to be weighed down or shackled. The world is in a fallen condition where sin and evil abound, but I have overcome the world. The best response to the grace lavished on you is thankfulness, gratitude that fuels a desire to live according to my will. The closer you live to me, the better you can discern my will. Also, the more you can experience my peace and joy. Knowing me intimately helps you trust me enough to receive peace from me, even in the midst of trouble. Overflowing with thankfulness has the delightful side effect of increasing your joy. Live freely and joyously in my presence. Live freely and joyfully in my presence. I am here. You're listening to me. I'm an actual man in the flesh, walking around in the flesh, just like last time. I don't know what Hollywood has you guys believe in, or what church told you it was going to be like, or whatever. I'm showing you what it is like, what it really looks like. This is the miracle foretold 2,000 years ago, Jesus coming in the clouds with power and great authority. He's here. He's walking around in the flesh as a man, just like last time. The Word became flesh, not clouds. The Word became flesh. You will see signs of him in the clouds. Are you guys getting it yet? Have you figured it out yet? Have you put two and two together? The Bible is trying to tell you, you will see him coming when you see him in the clouds. That means he's here, he's around, performing miracles everywhere he goes, and the people that he interacts with have no clue, except for some of his audience. There's a few people in my audience who have a clue now. They've finally caved and surrendered and believe. And it's a good thing for them. They are truly blessed now. Ask them. They will tell you their life changed and all sorts of wonderful things have started happening to the people that believe me. It seems too good to be true, but it's not. It's great. And I want you guys to take solace in this picture. I want you guys to get hope. I want you guys to grow some courage in this picture, okay? You guys are unstoppable. When you work with Jesus, you guys team up, you and Jesus make a perfect team. Okay? You can't do anything without him. He's in control of every little aspect of your life. Good, bad, everything. Once you've accepted that, and then you just start growing and blossoming. It's not too hard. It's a beautiful gift. I mean, how lucky are you guys to be able to talk to God on YouTube? Yeah. Like, how could that be? Oh, that's impossible. No, it's not. Actually, it was set up this way so I could be on YouTube, so I could do these shows, so I could live stream for my exclusive audience. How else am I supposed to do this and get you guys on board, right? Okay? When they try to tell you that aliens invented you or your DNA was manipulated, you can give them the middle finger and tell them, no, I am divine. Because you are. Everybody is. They just don't know it yet. You're all a bunch of little gods, little G's, running around. You have consciousness, don't you? You're aware of your, well, I don't know. Some of these people don't seem to have consciousness. There's a song called Zombified by Falling in Reverse, and it describes this scenario perfectly. Our society has been zombified by school and by the media. And there's only a select few who have snapped out of that zombie state, and they're listening and watching the show right now. The rest of the world still stuck in that zombie state. Okay, they practice religion. They don't have a relationship with me. You guys do have a relationship with me, don't you? You watch, you follow, and you study, just like all the other entities that watch, follow, and study me. You guys are just like them. You're watching me, you follow my channel, you look for the alerts, right? And then you study these images, don't you? The whole universe is watching, following, and studying every move I'm making. And they better pay close attention because I'm about to do something that'll blow everybody's minds. And then there will be no doubt whatsoever. Got it? Good. Especially for you guys. Especially good for you. You are the blessed audience. You are the elite. The other elite are a bunch of perverted criminals. Let's just call them that. And all that's about to come out and be exposed. And it's better. Here's a little message to the entire world, not just to the elites, but to my audience as well. It's time to confess your sins. No matter what you do, what you have done, it's time to confess your stuff before it's too late. Confess it to somebody, to a family member, to a loved one. Did you wrong somebody? Go tell them you're sorry. Make amends. Try to patch up as much of this damage as you can before the switch flips. And it'll be too late then. Okay? You guys are doing just fine, but you could do a little better by spreading the word and helping everybody understand they need to repent, and like yesterday. Like yesterday. It is that close, okay? This, like I said, this event, this miracle happened 3 years ago. You guys are still lucky to be here 3 years later. You know what? That's a lot of patience and a lot of forgiveness. So you guys are awesome. I love you all. I miss you all. You're all truly blessed. I think you know that. And I miss you guys so much. Can't wait to see you all again. Okay? And we're gonna do some miracles. All right, you guys. You and me together. We make perfection. That's it for tonight. I love you all. I got to get going. Back to the... Whoa. Wait a second. Somebody's asking, who do you think you are? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I don't answer that question. You do. You say who I am. I don't say it. Because when I say stuff like that, it sounds awkward, weird, and people take it the wrong way. I have learned my lesson. You don't understand? It's okay. Keep coming back to my channel. Slowly but surely, it will sink in. You're new here. Let me see your name, sir. I'll come back to you. Alpha Omega Survival Supply. Oh, okay. Cool. Welcome to my channel. I know you don't understand because this is very complex and most of my audience is very deep into this. You have to be kind of guided along a little bit to get you up to speed. Okay? So if you could do me a favor, Alpha, when I'm done with this, leave a comment in the comment section of this video, and then I will start sending you links in the comment section, and I will guide you through and will help you understand, okay? So if you heard what I said, leave, any of you folks need guidance or whatever, leave a comment in the comment section, and I will leave links of my videos to get you up to speed, because this is something that can't just be said or told. It has to, you have to connect some dots. It's like a dot to dot picture. You can't see a dot to dot picture until you connect the dots and trace the lines. And then all of a sudden, once you've connected all the dots, you see a much bigger picture. That's how this works. Okay. So leave a little comment in the comment section and expect me to start shooting you some links, and I'll get you up to speed. Okay. All right, that's it for tonight. I gotta go. The battle rages, and I have to get back to it. It is so intense now that the longer I step away, the more I have to catch up. So, oh, very good. You said you will. Okay, good. And I will. I can multitask. So while I'm at battle, I will still shoot you some links. All right. Gotta go, folks. Gotta go. Gotta go. I love you all. Hang in there, and I'll be back tomorrow. Love you all. God bless, and keep praying for each other. Pray for each other's strength and endurance, because you're gonna need it here soon. All right. Love you all. God bless, and I'll see you soon.